Thank you so much for coming to check out this video. I am back with another workout today. We are doing a full body workout with dumbbells. Now it's a mixture of some strength work, adding in some mobility. So if you've got a selection of hand weights, that's going to be awesome, but just use whatever you have got available to you. We're going to be hitting every single part of the body. We're going to be doing 30 seconds work with 15 seconds rest. So quick moving from one to the other. So do listen to the instructions. If you enjoy this workout, let me know in the comments what you liked about it. If you want any requests, also stick those into the comments. And of course, do give me a big massive thumbs up because it really helps me to grow my channel and help create more of these amazing workouts just for you, where I share all on health, mindset and goal setting. So let's get into it. I've literally just done it. I'm sweating like mad, so let's go. Okay, here we go. We're going to start getting warmed up. I'm starting with some nice big arm circles. Always getting that shoulder woken up and activated to try and bring the arms right up towards the ears, making the movement as big as possible and then taking it back around the other way. Next, we're going to take the arms out and across on the diagonals. We're trying to open past the body line, so just getting a bit of a dynamic stretch going in across the chest, opening out and then into some rotation. So as you rotate one hand towards the ceiling, you're going to turn and look towards that upwards hand and then back the other way. Bringing hands onto hips, nice big circle. Open out through the hips, always get some nice clicks and pops going on during these. And then taking it back the other way. Just finding your centre of balance as well, making the movement gradually get bigger. From here, taking into some swinging squats, so we're going down towards the floor, then reaching up above the head as we raise the heart rate, getting those legs moving, getting the body waking up for this workout today. Bringing the feet in then closer together and just repeating that action. And then we're going to come up onto the tiptoes as well, so we start to work in towards the ankle. Feet down low, up onto the toes, reaching up high. Then from there, just taking hands onto the knees, rotating in through the ankle, warming the knees, getting those ankles moving. And back the other way. From here, we go into a squat and then straightening out the legs, just turning side on, so squatting down. If this bothers your knees at all, don't go all the way to a low squat position. Just with any of this, go what feels good for you. Then interlock the elbows and just rotating from side to side. Just getting nice moving stretch going on through the hamstrings. Roll up through the spine, and we're going to come out to a inchworm. So walking down, stretch out through the legs, walk the hands out, drop the knees down towards the floor into a push-up position and then sinking back. So gently drawing in through the belly button, so we've got a nice strong line through our push-up, keeping the elbows pulled backwards, then coming back into the downward dog. Walk the heels into the floor, one and the other. From here into a forward stepping lunge. Now if you can't get the leg all the way round or the foot all the way round towards the hands, just come as far through as you can. You want to drop the hips down, look up, breathe out at the same time, so you're engaging through the core and opening out through the hips. And this time we're adding in a rotation. So leg comes forwards, then rotate out, reach up. I love doing this stretch, it feels so good. And then going back up to standing, and we're going to come down into a low squat position. We always like to work into the low squat. Don't worry if you can't get all the way down. When it aims to keep the heels down on the floor, opening out through the knees, and then just rolling back into the bottom. We're going to come into our 90-90 position. Now actually just getting into this position can be hard for some people, so you can use the hands for support if you need to. So we'll rotate, rocking forwards over the front leg and then reaching towards the back heel. If you have any tightness in the hips, this will feel quite hard, so just take your time with it. Back to centre, and we're going to let the hips rock side to side, so we're just releasing it out.
roll the knees from one side to the other, aiming to get the knees down towards the floor. On this version we are going to let the hips rotate, then take it over to the other side. So with a straight back, arms out to the side, tension in the arms, rock forward over that front leg and then reach towards the back heel. Keeping the spine nice and long. Going back to centre, this time we want to keep the hips stable, so don't let the hips rock. Mine are actually really not great on this. I've got very tight hips from doing lots of running, so just be gentle with this and be patient with yourself, and I've definitely noticed a massive improvement through repeating this work. Try and breathe out as you rotate the knee down towards the floor. From here we're going to come through a crab reach around, so we're just lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. And I'll just show you again from the side up. We're just going to take that reach a little bit further as we are going to be doing this move in the workout, so I just want you to get prepped for it. Nice strength through that supporting arm, reaching out over towards the head. From here we're going to rock forward, one foot in front of the other. My foot's actually going out on a 45-degree angle, so we want to come forwards over the knee and just open out as well in the parts of the thighs, and again just working into the hips. Try and keep the heel down onto the floor, and back, rotate from one side to the other. Using that weight and to just do that wiggle here, taking the knee from side to side, so we're working the ankle in all directions. Again, tight ankles is something that I definitely am challenged by, so I like to work on these quite a lot. Okay, standing. And then we're going to shake out, rotate the wrists round. Take the head side to side.
Okay, so we're just going to get the weights at the ready. We're going to start off with slightly lighter ones as we're going to be doing a push-up with a T rotation. So don't want to go too heavy on this first one. I always want to maintain good form throughout these, so we're going to go into a push-up with a rotation, reaching up towards the ceiling. Let's go. So what's important here is that we're keeping the body in a nice aligned position, so nice and straight, so you can drop down to the knees if you need to. Think about making the pelvis tilted under and getting the chest down towards the floor. Last couple here. Going. And then taking a rest. Next exercise is going to be a forward second lunge with a side raise. So just giving a quick example there. So getting ready, lengthen the spine, shoulders back, chest lifted, step forward, arms come out to shoulder height. Here we go. So trying to step down nice and low in the lunge, getting the back knee as close as we can towards the floor. Again, we don't want to have gone too heavy on this side raise, or keeping the arms straight can feel really challenging, so working into the shoulder as well as working the legs. So those multi-body parts moving at the same time means that we get maximum burn for our butt. Nearly there. Keeping those steps forward going. Well done. I take a rest. As the third exercise in this block, we're going to go heavier for a standing row. So making sure that we're getting into that deadlift position and ready to go. Bringing the arms up behind. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, drawing the elbows up towards the ceiling. Breath out on the way up. Engage through the tummy to hold nice, strong position through the body, grounding the feet into the floor. And take a rest. So going back to exercise number 1 with our push-up and that T rotation. As you can see on this round, I've actually
weight, because sometimes pressing your hands down onto the handles can feel a little bit tough onto the hands, so this is a great option as well. And remember, drop down to the knees if you need to, but really focus on keeping that body in that nice aligned position. We don't want the hips to be sagging down towards the floor. Open it nice and wide as you reach up towards the ceiling. And well done, take a rest. Ready for exercise 2, forward stepping lunge with our side raise with the arms. Get ready, and here we go. Yeah, we want to try and get those arms up towards shoulder height. If you find that you're starting to struggle, you can put a slight bend in at the elbow and focus on that lunge position. So we're taking that step forwards and dropping the back knee nice and close towards the floor. Let's keep the body in alignment, so shoulders back, navel's drawn in. Well done. And on to final time on exercise number 3, into those rows. So getting into our deadlift position, slight bend through the knees, tip the body forward and bringing those elbows up, driving them up towards the ceiling, pinching through the backs of the shoulders, using the breath as well. If you've gone heavy on these like I have, these get exceedingly challenging. So using the breath, try and control on the way back down, nearly there. And rest, well done. So we're going into block number 2. So we're going to take a wide stance straddle position. So option to have the weights, and we're going to hold them up by the chest. Again, get that core switched on, and we're going to go side to side. So it's a wide squat Cossack. This is great for building that single leg strength, trying to get down as deep as we can into the single leg movement. As you get warmer with this and more mobility in through the hip, knee and ankle to get down lower, and this is great base training towards being eventually be able to do the pistol squats. Take your time with it, don't rush it. Go slow and really focus on pressing through that heel as you come back up to standing. Well done, that's exercise 1. Exercise 2, we're going to go into a narrow split stance lunge. So we're going to set up our lunge position, one foot in front of the other, up onto the toe of the back foot, and then we're going down into this low lunge position. The aim is to get the back knee towards the floor. We're only doing 15 seconds on each leg before we switch. Keeping the chest lifted, switching the legs now. Just be aware how it feels for you. If you have any issues with the knee, you might just want to make this a lot smaller in the movement. That chest up, well done. And then exercise number 3 on this block is a burpee with a half jump turn. So here we want to get the heart rate elevated. And this is where we start to get a bit of sweat. Let's go down and up, half jump turn, and then come and jump back the same way you went last time. So you're not going round in circles, keeping that nice tight position as you jump back. And you can always modify this and just step it, walking the legs backwards if you want to take out the jump and take out any of the impact. Keeping it going, trying to move at a pace that is challenging for you, that you find quite hard to maintain. Getting the hands down flat on the floor and take a rest. So we're going back to exercise number 1 with that wide side to side lunge position. Hand weights are optional. We're going to hold them up at chest height if we do. Take a nice wide stance. Lift up the chest, draw in the belly. Here we go. Trying to get really down as low as you can. Just feel it out. As you get more mobility in this plane, you'll find that you start to be able to get further and further. This is definitely not one that we want to rush. Focus on pushing in through that heel to press back up to that central position. Try not to lean the body too far forward. The last couple pull, we're nearly there. Well done. Get prepping for that narrow lunge position. Now what you'll notice on this is that the knee does go in front of the toe, often something we're told not to do in fitness. However, here we go on this one. It is a very functional movement. There'll be often times if you're walking down a hill, walking down the stairs, your knee travels in front of your toe. So I feel it's very important to actually train this in a controlled manner, changing sides, so that we can actually help our body to function more effectively and in the long term reduce knee injuries and issues. But you've got to take this one slow. So the chest is, and you are leaning slightly forward, but we want to keep that chest lifted also. Well done. Second time we're onto that burpee, half turn jump. Get ready, lots of energy. Let's move quickly but with good form throughout. So we take it down, jump or step back, half jump turn or step turn if you prefer. Just be aware as we're driving up through the legs as you jump and turn, helping to maintain good balance and stability throughout. Moving with as much speed but maintaining form. And rest, awesome, well done. Moving on to block number 3. So this is a mobility block. So not as much needed through the weights. We're going to be starting with a crab reach around like we did in the warm-up. So I'm just having a little rest here. I suggest you do the same. Take a breath. Now we take one hand behind us, using that to support your body, keeping the shoulder or the chest lifted so you're not sinking into that shoulder. So we're going to put the weight into the hand and push the hips up towards the ceiling. Here we go. Now we follow the route of that hand with the head, so looking over and back towards the floor, pushing the hips up towards the ceiling. Again, you can start just making this movement really small if you're new to this type of movement. Great for your mobility as well as strengthening through the shoulder and through the glutes as well. And resting there. Next exercise is going to be the jumping kick through. Now you can do a stepping kick through as well. So we're going to take the hands just at shoulder width, hands flat on the floor, we lift up and we kick through over to the opposite side, so the underside leg comes to the outside of the body. Now you'll notice how I'm having a little jump in the middle as I'm pushing through the hands almost into a handstand position, but you don't have to jump, you can just step it through. If you find that this is something that you really struggle with, you might have to just rewind the first couple of times you do this just to get used to the movement, or you can always supplement it and just do a rotating plank if you want to take this out completely. And taking a rest. The final one on this block is the back line drill. So we're going to take a smaller hand weight lying down on the back, and we're going to take the feet up towards the ceiling, and we're going to do an elevated crunch, and then we slowly extend the arms and the legs away from each other. What's really important here, and repeat when you get to the end, is that we're keeping the lower back in contact with the floor throughout. If you notice or feel it starting to lift, that's the point which you get to contract the abs and come to centre, and then repeat the sequence. We want the extension away from each other to be slow. We're working through the breath out and really keeping that pelvis tilted under so that the lower back remains in contact with the floor. And taking a rest. Back to exercise number 1, which is the crab reach around. Placing the hand in position, fingers facing away from you, and reach it round. So we would take the breath out as we push the hips up towards the ceiling, so pressing through the heels, staying strong through the shoulder. Last couple. And breathe out there. again, show you from side on this time on the step through, kick through. Taking the hands onto the insides of the legs, spread the fingers, push through the hands and then kick the leg through. Opposite hand comes up towards the face as we kick through. And that's the option with the jump. So we want the jump, if you're adding in the jump, to get almost like hang time. So we're using the strength through the shoulders, through that upper body to control the movement as we come up and through. This does take a little bit of practice, so don't worry if you don't get it first time. Really hard to maintain for that amount of time. Take a break. Grab your weight and let's get back to that back line drill. Getting ready, feet up towards the ceiling. We take a breath out, reach up, pointing the toes, tensioning through the legs, arms out above the head, keeping the rib cage drawn in and that back into the floor. Lift, breathe out and then slowly away. This can also be done with bent knees. If you're not ready to do it with straight legs, then bend your knees. So we're decreasing the length of the lever and therefore making it slightly easier for you to maintain that contact with the floor. And take a break, well done. Ready on to the next block. We're going to start off with some small hand weights for this next one as we go into upper body, and we're doing circular shoulder raises. So we're going to take the arms all the way up overhead, palms facing forwards, and then back down to centre. Here we go. So this is working again, once again into the shoulder, but working in this circular position is helping us to get into different areas of the shoulder and hit more of the shoulder joint. We want it nice and controlled, maintaining a nice, long, tall, strong body. So engaging through those abs in through every single exercise that we do. Well done, take a rest. Now I'm going to go slightly heavier for this one as we go in a 3-part movement. So it's a squat, it's a bicep curl and it's a shoulder press. So maintaining those shoulders back, drop down into the squat, curl, keeping the elbows in and then taking it overhead for the press. Always love multi-body movements, so trying to get nice and deep into that squat. Taking the hands towards the floor, making sure that we're not swinging or gaining momentum on any of these movements, keeping it nice and controlled. Taking a rest. And then the final exercise in this block is a squat with an inside foot tap. So no weights required for this one. Set your squat position and down and then tap. So we want a little bit more speed on this one, and that inside foot tap is going to help you to activate into the inner thigh. It feels a little bit unnatural and you kind of don't want to do it, but we're working and activating the core and that inside part of the leg, and also working to get the heart rate up on this. So nice and deep as we can into that squat and then driving up and tap that leg. Keep and maintain that pace. Well done. Back to exercise 1, that circular shoulder raise. Again, going light on these weights, palms facing outwards. And then here we go, all the way up, and then try and bring those weights down to meet at the bottom. Control on the way down as well, don't let me just fall down. This is feeling tough now after this. Even with the light weight, so we're definitely feeling this. Maintain that integrity in through the belly. Well done, take a break. Ready, go a little bit heavier, squat, curl, press. Shoulders back, belly in, make sure nothing's behind you, and here we go. Trying to get low down towards the floor, but keeping that chest lifted. Press through the heels as you stand up. Nice control on the curls. We're keeping the elbows in, avoiding any swinging, especially on the way back down. And rest. And then into exercise number 3 once again for our squat with inside toe tap. Ready? Remember, we want energy on this one. So down, powering back up, working on our speed of our repetitions. Try not to drop the chest forward, so we're bringing the heel up towards the chest rather than the chest down to the heel. Feeling ourselves work into that inner part of the leg, into the core. And of course, elevating that heart rate to get our sweat on. And rest. Good work, well done. So we're coming down into the final block. Final 3 exercises focused on the core. And we're going to start off with the Russian twist. So using a mid to heavier weight. I tend to use a lighter one. If you have any back issues, you can always do this without. We're going to roll back halfway and then we tap side to side. Think about pressing and squeezing the knees together, drawing up through the pelvic floor muscles. Let the head follow that weight round side to side, so you're really encouraging that big rotational movement. The further back you're leaning, the harder this is going to be. You can also intensify this by taking the feet off the floor as well if you want to go that little bit harder. Okay, coming up. Now this next one's going to require some balance, so just one mid-weight. So we're going to do a curtsy lunge with side knee raise. So we have the weight into one hand, we're stepping behind, and then we bring the knee up to the side. A little bit of a wobble. Yeah, there's lots going on here, so it requires as much balance as it does strength. We're hitting into the obliques, trying to raise that knee up towards the elbow. Changing sides. And there's always one side that's better than the other. So just be aware of any imbalances, weaknesses on one side, and take a rest there. Final one is our weighted sit or crunch. So if you can't come all the way up to seated, you can just do basic crunch on this. So it's a roll down, overhead, again keeping the rib cage drawn in and the back into the floor, and seated up overhead. Feet flat on the floor, knees are bent. Control on this, and as well on the way back up, trying again to avoid using momentum. We want to activate the strength in through the abdominal muscles and make them work to our best capability. Taking a rest. You're going to come back into that Russian twist. So preparing yourself, choose the weight. You can go without the weight. I've actually had back issues since childbirth, so I do find this incredibly hard, and it's taken me quite a while to build up, be able to do this again. Here we go in. Side tap, really try and rotate, breathing out as we bring it round to the side. Squeeze those knees together, drawing it in through the pelvic floor. Drawing that belly button in nice and tight to hold and support the lower back. And remember, if you are feeling this in the lower back, either come back up and just do it, especially without the weights if you have any issues there. And rest. Curtsy lunge with the side knee raise. Standing up nice and tall, reset your position, lift the chest. And here we go. Back knee and then up to the side. Try and get that knee behind you as close down to the floor as we can as we hit into the glute medius, so the side parts of the glutes. And then raising up, try and get that knee up towards the elbow, contract through the obliques, switching sides. It's a quick changeover on these as we're only doing 30 seconds for each exercise. And rest. Final exercise before we finish off with our stretch. So going all in on this one, it is our weighted sit-up. Here we go. Control. Keep the rib cage drawn in. Lower back stays down on the floor as we take that weight overhead. Big effort, nearly there now. Last couple and that's it. We're done. We're done. Give yourself a little bit of a shake out. We're just going to finish off with a stretch and release out. So bring it down onto all fours. We're just going to take a nice cat stretch, arching the back up towards the ceiling and then sitting back all the way back into child's pose. Stretch the arms out along the floor and just take a few moments here to draw in some breaths. I always find it's important and really finishes off the workout nicely is when we take our time to just stretch out the body. So coming back out, reach out up towards the ceiling and then we're going to thread the needle all the way through, get a nice rotation in and just bring your attention to your breathing, just slowing that breathing rate down, taking full, long, deep breaths. A little bit of appreciation for what your body has just done. Taking that out to the other side. Big reach up, open out through the chest. Lengthen the arm away. Reach it out and away from you, separating out across the back of the shoulder blades. Good, tuck the toes underneath, just sit back. Stretching out through the big toes. We're just putting a weight onto the toes, can sometimes feel a little bit uncomfortable, and take the head over to one side, stretching out the neck and then over to the other side and then coming back down, and we're going to go into a single leg dog. So just pressing one heel down into the floor, so really using all of your body weight to push down. Then reach the leg up towards the ceiling, drop that heel backwards towards the floor. Really nice stretch through the side body, and then bring that leg all the way through into a low lunge. And again, we're going to get that rotation in, open the chest up towards the ceiling. So we're reaching with the same arm as leg that's forwards. Now we're going to rotate onto the outside of the heels. I love this stretch. For my incredibly tight hips, this feels so good. So we're just rotating all the way around onto the outsides of both feet and let the hips sink down towards the floor. Back knee down, tilt the pelvis under, sink forward. Stretching out the hip flexor on the back leg. And just being sure to breathe. Sit the weight back. Tilt the hips and your chest forward to stretch into the hamstrings. And then bring the foot across as we come into pigeon. Often add this into most stretch sessions after workouts because I just love it and it always feels so good. So you can sit upright, you can roll it forwards, whatever feels best for you, where you can feel the hips releasing the most. Bringing it back up, and we're going to change sides. So bringing that other foot now, heel down into the floor, press in your weight down, and then bring the leg up, and then bring the heel all the way behind to open up into the side body. Leg comes all the way through into our low lunge. Press the hips down towards the floor, add in the rotation, reach it up. Reach the arm out and then bring it around onto the outside of the heels. Drop the hips down towards the floor. back to centre. Drop the back knee down to the floor, tilt the hips under, sink forward, stretch out hip flexors. Keep chest lifted, press the hips down in towards the floor. Sink back, tip forwards, release out those hamstrings, keeping the breath long, deep and full to allow your body to just let go. Bring the foot across into pigeon, slide the other leg back and wiggle your hips down towards the floor. So you can either stay upright, I always tend to feel it a little bit more here, or if you want to go deeper, you can come down on the elbows, or you can even go all the way head down towards the floor. Just enjoy a few moments in this stretch to release out those hips. And then we're going to release. Bring yourself out into straddle position. Doesn't have to be super wide. And we're just going to take a forward fold from this position. Lead with the chest, so we're not massively trying to round the back. Even sitting upright with your hands behind you can sometimes be enough of a stretch for the inner thighs in this position. Taking it over towards one leg. If you can reach the toe, then reach on. Just take to wherever you can, even if you're just stretching out into the fingertips. Just come with what's available to you. Inhale and exhale, take it over to the other side. And then just bringing yourself into a cross-legged position. We're just going to finish off with a chest stretch. Take the hands behind, elbows slightly bent, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift up. And then from here, just take a long, deep breath in. Exhale, release out through the neck. Give it a roll around. And a couple more deep breaths here just to finish off the session and give yourselves a clap. Great work, well done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed this workout.